what I say. I feel far away, nothing is what I think. I feel drowning, pain, nothing is what I say. I feel far away, nothing is what I think. Nothing is what I think. Yeah. 'Cause I will drown in it. Freedom. Misdirection, you know I'm through with you. Your hoops are my obsessions, always jumping through. I'm so tangled, I'm so worthy. I'm just lost in my reflection. Pay attention, you never will. I will overanalyze and fall victim. But when I'm lowest, time to get to know myself. I'm still tangled, I'm not worried, 'cause I am caught up in this perfection. Pay attention, yeah, you never will. 'Cause you depend, so you always will. If you arrest yourself again, I'll help you clean up the mess. I wonder if you ever did, yeah. I wonder if you ever did like I did. I wonder if you ever did, yeah. I wonder if you ever did like I did. Just wanna be free, yeah. Free, yeah. Free, yeah. Free, yeah. Do you need anything like I need you? It's over. Do you need anything like I need you? Let's go! You know I do.
He cut his wrist instead.
There's your answer.
You better save yourself or else. Nothing like success.
I would rather be in hell than regret.
Do you need anything like I need you? It's over. Oh, do you need anything like I need you? You know I do. Dude, how we doing? Whoa! Oh.
These are not my words. Tell me where are mine?
Most of the time,
My face
with reality,
and permit me to breathe.
before I do it again. Do you need anything like I need you? It's over. Oh, do you need anything like I need you? Do you need anything like I need you? So the whole, do you need anything like I need you? All right, we're gonna let the guitar solo play, and then we're gonna get into this. I feel like we have a lot to cover this evening. I'm gonna try and get 2 nights of sleep in a row. Maybe. Let's go! Sorry, babe. I forgot. Wow! Do you need anything like I need you? So do you need anything like I need you? Do you need anything like I need you? So do you need anything like I need you? Someone asked who's playing guitar. That would be me. That Full Blown Red, the band you're listening to, we were a 3-piece band. So I was the singer and the guitar player and the songwriter and the tour booker. And I made the flyers. I mean, I had a lot of duties. Let's go. What guitar was I playing on that band? I don't know. I mean, I would presume it was... Oh no, I think it was Jaguar, right? Pretty sure it's a Jaguar. And at the time I was also playing a Squier Jagmaster, right? Love from Brooklyn. Let's go, Felicia. Let's go. All right. There we go. Let's go. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was the same. I definitely had the Jagmaster at that time. Dude, the Jagmaster was one of my favorite guitars. It's like a weird combination of a Jaguar and not a Mustang, Jaguar and I don't know, dude. It's like a Jaguar and sort of I don't know what a Jazzmaster. There you go. That must be it, right? But it was really cool. I mean, it was simple. It didn't have all the complicated electronics of a Jaguar. It just had one fucking knob and one like pickup selector, but it had like a wide neck. Is very different. Like a Jaguar has a very narrow neck. Okay. And so Jaguars are very like, they have a really narrow like fretboard. And so they require a lot of precision and they're, you know, they're good. They're really good guitars. And it was my main guitar, right? But it's like playing a Jaguar is very different. The Jagmaster was like, had a wider fretboard. You could do these really big, gnarly bends on it. It had a tremolo bar. It was a cool guitar, right? It was cheap too. It was cheap. And the bass player in that band in Full Blown Red, who was also the bass player in like the last incarnation of the, you know, Soul Driver, and he's the bass player. Then moved back to Georgia and died early, like had a heart attack at like 35, but he had worked at Guitar Center. And so I used to get a lot of guitars, right? Because he had a pretty good Guitar Center discount. Yeah, the Jag Stang was different. That was like I don't know, that felt like it was a novelty, the Jag Stang more than anything. Right? Dude, you remember the Jagmaster? Right above Clay's Smokehouse. Yeah, I think that was the Jaguar. That was the one at the Clay's Smokehouse days. I used to stay in this crazy house. I did a lot of blow in this house above a barbecue restaurant here in Portland. And then our like fucking power got turned off and shit. Oh my God, dude, Jake, that's when I was like staying with Logan. Oh, Jesus, dude. Dude, when like... Dude, me and Logan did a lot of drugs in that building. Bro, Jesus. What a fucking disaster. Dude, that was a disaster. So that, you ready for this? Let me just tell you guys a little story, little personal story that I'm going to launch into that I probably shouldn't be telling you, but I'm going to tell you anyway. So when I relapsed, okay, after 5.5 years of being clean, okay, I relapsed. And I had not gone to AA yet, so I had been just touring the country like sober, but like I was a workaholic and I was nutty, and I started staying with this dude in this fucking apartment, which was above this barbecue restaurant, right? Behind this barbecue restaurant, like attached to the back of this restaurant. And like I did so many drugs there, and I started like losing weight and shit. And I mean, there's a scene in the documentary where I snort this huge pile of blow, and that happened in that apartment. Our power got shut out. So there were times when we were like doing drugs by candlelight for like a month. I mean, it was gnarly. But there had been like cameras in this house. There were things up in the corner where there had previously been like security cameras in this house. I don't know if it had been a grow house or something. I presume it had one time had been a grow house, considering who like was involved around this place, right? But so the cameras were gone, but the mounts were still up there. But I became convinced at one time that they still had cameras in there, and that everybody at my bar job was like watching me party on the TVs at the bar, dude. Like, I was like losing it. Dude, I was losing it. And this was after, you know, my son had been born, and my son's mom she would walk by that house every day, and she would like knock on the door and make sure I was still alive. Like, she checked on me every day just to make sure I was still alive. Like, she would knock on the door until I came to the door, and like, just, dude, it was crazy. It was fucked up. It was one of the crazier times, dude, that like, I mean, escaping that, I feel like, thank you. Dude, it was nutty, bro. I would not want to go back there for anything. Dude, no thanks. Man, it was messed up though. But I remember, like, while I was bartending, there would be people standing at the bar and I could hear them talking to each other. And they would be saying shit like, oh, he looks like he's losing weight, man. Man, what's going on? I think he's losing weight, dude. He looks like he lost like 20 pounds. Like, I would hear them while I'm making the drinks talking to each other, dude. Oh, shit. It was crazy. Let's go. Dude, let's go, Jake. Love you too, boss. I like thinking about that shit now, though. Now it's like fun stories. You know, now it's like survival stories. But back then, dude, it was not, you know, it was pretty crazy. It was pretty crazy, dude. A lot of, you know, a lot of chaos going on. I did live to tell the story. Give people hope. Let's go. I mean, dude, you know, if you're struggling with drugs or alcohol, you can go to AA. That's what I ultimately did. Was I went to AA, right? Yeah, keys jingling and me hustling pool. Dude, I hustled a lot of pool. I told everybody the story the other night, Jake, about like hustling the fucking barbacks after I would tip them. Dude, like Mike, oh my God, dude. Mike always liked to go double or nothing. And so I used to play pool with Mike. I would just take all the tips back, bro. Dude, so cruel. Dude, I was kind of a fucking douche, bro. Dude, how was my bar back? You were pretty good, dude. You were one of them. You were good, though. Dude, it's funny. Bro, that place. I tell you, though, getting, yeah, dude, quick. Dude, he was fucking funny, bro. Like, getting fired from that job, though, was like the best thing that ever happened to me, man. Oh, shit. Dude, talk about a fucking great experience. Getting fired from that place, dude, was brilliant. Fucking good shit. All right. So, guys, here we go. Ready? Dude, trained you for your shift? Let's go. Dude, so here's what we got going on, guys. Okay, so tonight we're gonna look at Hegseth spending all that money. We are gonna look at fucking Jake Lang, like, dude, with the scandal around the 16-year-old girl that wasn't really a girl, right? You know what I'm saying? That wasn't really a girl. That I believe it was a guy, right, who was like baiting him, but still pretty bizarre, right? Then we're going to look at, right? Yeah, busted. Dude, I don't know why these guys fall for that shit. Like, seriously. Like, how hard is it? You know what I'm saying? 15-year-old, thank you. I mean, dude, if I was ever texting a woman and I said, how old are you? And she said she was like under 18, I would be like so gone. And I would be giving her a fucking huge speech. I mean, first off, I don't think I would even be texting with like an 18-year-old. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember when I was streaming Fortnite, sometimes a young female would text me and I would just say, you know, I will interact with you in stream. I don't do DMs with like young girls, right? Like, if we're going to talk about shit, we come into the stream and we'll talk about it there, right? Because just DMing with young girls is like, dude, you don't even want to go there, you know? But these guys are like, you know, toxic. So we're going to look at Jake Lang being a typical MAGA. He's a typical MAGA person. All right, then there's a story with Elon and DOGE, okay, with some scandalous shit. And then we have to look at Charlie Kirk, dude, because today was the 6-month anniversary, blah, blah, blah. But the shit they were saying on Charlie Kirk, like, oh my God, TPUSA, these guys are ghouls. They are ghouls. By the way, say goodbye to the hair, guys. Any day now, this hair is going to be gone, okay? It could be in the next 2 weeks. The long hair is going bye-bye, all right? Long hair, it's been great while it was here, but the long hair is going bye-bye. I'm not sure what's going to replace it. I don't know if it's going to be short and spiky like it once was. I don't know if I'm going to bleach it. I don't know if it'll be mid-length, but the long hair is going to go, right? Bald is beautiful. I'm not going to go bald, right? I mean, I'll go bald. If I lose all my hair, I'll go bald, but I don't want to be bald. Dude, I fucking like having a little bit of hair, right? And seeing what I can do with it, right? Seeing how I can take that hair that would make other men shave their heads and refuse to shave my head, right? Because every other man would probably shave his head, but like, I'm not every other man, dude. I'm going to rock this hair and find creative ways of having it. Because I like hair. I think it's fun. It's a fun accessory, right? Let's go. First time you met me, I had green spiked hair with the crown. All right, dude, that sounds about right. I might bleach it though. Dude, 𝗙𝗍𝗃 Kirk was appointed to the Air Force Board. She was. But guys, just for the record, with 𝗙𝗃𝗃 Kirk and the Air Force Board, it's not like 𝗙𝗃𝗃 Kirk was, oh, I'm going to pick 𝗙𝗃𝗃 Kirk for the Air Force Board. It was Charlie. Charlie had that role. So basically what he did is instead of filling Charlie's role, Trump just moved 𝗙𝗃𝗃 into Charlie's role. Okay? And believe it, guys, when I tell you, okay? Believe it when I tell you is you, like, anything he does with that, he's just trying to court voters, right? And kids, you always have to bleach your hair. Like, you always have to bleach your hair before dyeing it. If you ever dye your hair without bleaching it, you may as well not even dye it. There will be no color. You have to bleach it. It's like a mandatory. Dude, I would usually bleach it sometimes multiple times. Make that shit white. Let's go. All right. All right. So there you go. There you go, baby. That's tonight's thing. All right. That's what we're doing tonight. We're going to look at this shit. We're going to get in. Look at it. Now, I guess where will we start, dude? Right? Where will we start? I guess we will start with, let's start with Jake Lang, shall we? Much love? All right, let's go. Much love to you too. All right. Dude, the Jake Lang shit is crazy. Get a mohawk? Dude, no, mohawks are too much work, boss. All right. I've known people with mohawks. I mean, dude, mohawks may sound good in theory, but if you guys see the amount of work it takes to keep a mohawk, holy fucking shit, bro. You just can't even imagine how much work. It is a commitment, boss. Like getting a mohawk going and keeping that shit. There's no fucking way. All right, so here we go, dude. All right. This is, says here, right? This was being reported earlier today. Says leaked texts seem to show far-right MAGA influencer Jake Lang, 31, was texting a man pretending to be a 15-year-old girl on Instagram. Okay? Now, that's just it. It was a guy pretending to be a girl, so the whole thing was a setup. The whole thing was like a cheesy sting operation. But what we're looking at is Jake Lang didn't know the guy was a dude, okay? Jake Lang thought it was a 15-year-old girl. And yes, Jake is a J6er. Jake is a racist, degenerate piece of crap, okay? Now, have we confirmed this? There he is. All right, have we confirmed? Is there confirmation, right? So what do we got here? Like, so what do we have here? Okay, like because here we go. We have like Jake Lang, right? And somebody says, you coming to my next protest in Texas? And the person replies, I can if you want me to. Yes, what's your number? Can we talk on here instead, or you only text? I have too many DMs, text only, sweetie. I'm laying down I don't know what it says. I can't read what it says up there. I was something at the gym. I'm laying down now. What did your mom say? How old are you, by the way? I'll ask tomorrow. He says, I just turned 30, honey. Why are you up so late, young lady? Nice. And I don't know. I be a night owl. I might be too young for you. LOL. How old are you, baby? Unless you're under 18, I don't care. And then the person says, I'm 15. LOL. Okay. Yeah, 15. Yeah, no. Now that is when you should be like, bye-bye. Right? No, thank you. But look at this. When do you turn 16? Right? Like that. What a weird response right there. Okay. When do you turn 16? What is that? Is that an age of consent thing? I mean, dude, he's 30, right? Yeah. Dude, the off-ramp should be, as soon as they say I'm 15, LOL, the off-ramp should be, wow, you know, you seem very precocious for your age. Good luck. But like, you know, I'm way, way too old for you. But instead, the response is, when do you turn 16? Okay. And then she said, in 6 months, I won't get you in trouble if that's what you're worried about. I can keep a secret. And then he tags that with a heart, bro. Like, dude, WTF, Jake Lang, you fucking dumbass. Dude, why all of them? He didn't like it. He like loved it. Liking it would be giving it a thumbs up. He gave it the heart, okay? Liking it is just a thumbs up. Or you could do a ha, right? He gave it the, oh, sweetie, oh, come here, just like Trumpy. Oh, how old is she? Dude, why? Why is it all of the Republicans? It is like every Republican. It doesn't matter if they're like Benny Johnson gay or if they're Russell Brand straight. Every Republican is a grapist and a, like, you know, child Lester, right? They're like Lestering the kids. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what the hell, dude? Every single one is, you know, their nickname is Lester and they're a grapist. Dude, they think they're hyper masculine, but the thing about that is that's not even masculine. You know what I'm saying? That's not even masculine. That's like predatory. Okay. That is like, you know, like trying to shoot fish in a barrel. You know what I'm saying? Like it's really, you know what it is? It's about how insecure these people are, right? It is about their latent insecurity and their latent feelings of powerlessness, where they get off on being like intellectually more capable than these young people with like half-formed brains. Okay? It's like a power thing. Like they can't manipulate an adult, right? But a young person, their cheesy, like, you know, grade school manipulations will work. That's what it is, man. It's like a weird, they're so powerless, they're so weak that they just look for somebody that they can try and take power over with their ridiculous pea-sized brains, because they have brains like the size of a fucking monitor lizard. That's it. Dude, it's like you look at like a MAGA brain and it's like, dude, it's like looking through a marble. Okay? It's about this big and you shake it, there's fucking nothing in there, bro. Nothing in there, dude. Wow. Okay, so then he says, what state do you live in? I can't see you till you're 16. And they say, Arizona, I just moved here. So, and then they sent some photos, right? Photos with the last one where they announced their age. And then they sent a photo here. I can't see you till you're 16, dude. Dude.
Jake Lang, 1770.
What the hell, bro? All right, let's see what we got here.
Jake Lang, 1776, has been in the news for doing tons of shit. Yesterday, he was driving around my city for some reason humping a goat in the back of a van. I wish I was kidding, that's exactly what this weird fuck was doing. Jake's not interested in goats. As it turns out, he's interested in young underage women. See, a friend of mine, Arlen, aka the Zerg, does underage things. It turns out Jake Lang was stupid enough to give him his number and creepy enough to interact with him thinking that he was a 15-year-old girl. They started working on this back in November when they followed Jake Lang's account. Jake Lang reached out and said, "You coming to my next protest in Texas?" Jake immediately goes for the phone number. Now I want to make it apparent that these profiles are very clearly belonging to high school students. I obviously can't show you the profile because that would blow the entire operation, but they always have some sort of high school and some throwback to being in high school. But it gets worse. Jake insisted to move it to text message conversation. He said, "I have too many DMs. Text only, sweetie." Decoy gives phone number in this message. Jake gets chatty. "How old are you, by the way?" the decoy asks. He says, "I turned 30, honey." "Why are you up so late, young lady?" "How old are you, baby? Unless you are under 18, I don't care." The decoy says, "I'm 15," and sends a selfie. And he sends possibly the creepiest message a 30-year-old grown fucking man could send to a 15-year-old. He says, "When do you turn 16?"
Dude.
The decoy then says,
Dude, that's really it, right? I mean, you know what I'm saying? That's really that's the kicker right there. You know why that's the kicker, guys? Here's why that's the kicker. Because it makes it seem as though he's had a lot of fucking experience doing this. That he knows 16, right? He knows the general age of consent, right? It is like a normal human being would, of course, flee. And even if they were creepy, they like if they were doing it for the first time, they might tread in there lightly as a degenerate. But the fact that he instantly zeroes in on the 16 because he knows that 16 is like safe. And then later he's like, "What state are you in?" means you just know that this guy has fucked around with 16-year-olds in the past, okay? And you just know it. And guys, let me just tell you, I'm no stranger to having like 16-year-old girls try to like mug up on you because I played rock and roll and I used to tour and I played a lot of all ages shows. So you get girls that like try to like hook up with you afterwards. And they're clearly like young and they try to tell you they're like 19 and it's like you look like you still have baby teeth. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, sure you are, right? I mean, everybody who plays rock and roll, you experience that shit. But like, dude, you don't walk around like checking if people are 16 years old. You just don't do that unless you are an experienced scammer, okay? You know what I mean? An experienced scammer who's doing that shit. And there are a lot of guys who do that. There are a lot of dudes on fucking tour that do that shit. I know some guys who've gotten kicked out of bands. Not like friends of mine, but like touring guys you would see. I know guys who got kicked out of bands for some really, hooking up with the fucking, with people they shouldn't have been hooking up with, okay? It's like, dude, it's just stupid, man. I don't understand why people even, like, venture around in that territory, You know what I'm saying? Especially, like not nowadays, I mean, I'm not going to say I understand it because it's always gross, but if you go back to the 80s and 90s, when people were fucking degenerates and everybody was getting away with everything, it's like it made more sense because those people were most likely going to get away with it, right? Because everything was so degenerate and horrible back then. And again, it doesn't excuse it, but at least those people that were doing it, they like knew they were getting away with it. But like now, like on leaving like messages on Instagram or phone messages doing this shit, like how are you not going to get caught? You know what I'm saying? Like literally in today's modern world, if you are 20 years old and you're fucking around with talking to a 14-year-old, the whole world's going to find out about that shit. Like you have to be dumb as a bucket of shit to be doing this stuff now in the internet world where everything is written in ink. People get canceled every fucking day. You know what I mean? It's like, how dumb do you have to be? Like you have to be like pathologically stupid, okay, to be doing that shit, you know? Dude. Seriously. Right? Seriously. Lock up Kid Rick. Kid Rock. Dude, what about Ted Nugent? Right? It's even worse about Jake is that MAGA and Groypers are trying to justify it. All right, we're going to look at the rest of this.
It says, in 6 months I turn 16. I won't get you in trouble if that's what you're worried about. I can keep a secret. Jake hearts this message. And he takes it a step further. What state do you live in? I can't see you till you're 16. Jake, you're 30! Is this crazy right-wing influencer thing going so poorly for you that you have to try fucking children?
Dude.
Or are you just a...
Dude, it's just so, like, stupid. Now, what does he say? Okay? So this is Jake Lang. He replies to this. And he says, text between Alex Rosen and myself this morning. Nice fake setup, Groypers. But I wouldn't even allow this person to attend my protests until they were 16. Nothing else was discussed except going to a protest. Obvious phishing scam that my team caught right away and deterred. And he says, were those messages real? I'm just asking before anything. And he says, Nick Fuentes went on a 10-minute vicious rant about me on his show yesterday. So the Groyper army has been attacking me with dozens of phishing hoaxes and scams. My lawyers are gathering everything now and preparing to strike back hard now. Bet. Well, were those texts you being for real or fucking around? My team, who does my DMs from out of the country, suspected I was being phished. I confirmed it by asking their age and telling them the legal boundaries. Never spoke to them again after that. Dude, telling them the legal boundaries? Dude, I can't see you till you're 16. I'm sorry, that's not a legal boundary there, dumbass. Makes sense. And what do you mean fished? They were talking about coming to my protests and then switched, trying to rope the conversation into something illegal, and we pulled the plug. But that's not what happened, guys. Okay? I mean, come on now. Because he said that they were trying to, like, fish. But if you look at this, if you look at the text, he was asking if they're coming to the protest, and he asked for their number. Okay? That was clearly a high school person. But he reached out to them. Are you coming to my protest? What's your number? I don't do Instagram DMs. I do phone only. Right? You know what I mean? And then he's the one who said, like, you know, how old are you? Right? I mean, there was nothing that was steered by this person. This was all like Jake, all his doing. Okay? But what made us refer to this girl? What made you refer to this girl? I don't know why he says us. What made us refer to this girl as honey and baby? Never once was there a pet name used after this Fisher identified their age. No talks we had other than them coming to a protest. Right? Yep, agreed. Can you send me the full chats from your end? I'd like to see what was said after her age from her end. That guy that fished specifically sets people up for clicks. He says the chat was cleared, but I know for a fact that the last message that was sent was the one that said, I can't see you. The full text thread has been posted. The chat was cleared. Like, why would you clear a chat? Okay? Right? Like, think about that. If you think you're being fished by somebody that's going to set you up with an underage scam, these groypers trying to ruin you, why would you delete the chat? Yes, that chat, the chat was fully exonerated. Dude, the chat has been exonerated. Oh my God, dude. Yeah, I'm not really buying that shit. Now, there's another thing I do want to point out here, okay? That is, oh my God, dude. The one that said, I can't see you. The chat has been fully exonerated. Dude, that's wild, okay? Unless you're 18, I don't care. I'm 15. When do you turn 16? Blah, blah, blah. Right?
𝗙𝗪𝗏
sorry. Dude, yeah, that shit is so, like, crazy. Now again, guys, okay? Again, one of the things about this that is really sort of problematic and not working in his favor is the fact that the part of the ruse, okay, the part of the ruse in this thing is the fact that the profile of the girl is very clearly a high school age girl, okay? The profile. So Jake Lang, if you look at this, Jake Lang starts it by saying, you coming to my next protest in Texas. Okay? He's the first message here. He went into her DMs and said, are you coming to my protest in Texas, my next protest? But like the person whose DMs he went into was very clearly a high school girl. If you go to her Instagram page, that's how these ruses work. Okay? So he went into the DMs of a girl that looked very clearly like she was a high school girl. And he went in there to see if she was coming to the protest. And then he asked her for her phone number to move it off of Instagram. So there you go. Anything beyond that is like, why you in her DMs at all? Okay? You know what I'm saying? Why are you in her DMs at all? Period. Right? He knew what he was doing. Dude, what a scoundrel. But this is all of them, dude. This is like all of the, it is literally all of the MAGA people. Every MAGA person is a fucking degenerate, dude. Every single one of them is a, right? Dude, crazy. And that shit, if you look at it, is from back in November. Okay? It was looked like November. Right? And, oh, so it started in November and then it moved on. See, I'd like to see what else they were talking about in between. Right? It's a setup. They won't let up. Yeah. I wonder what they were talking about in between, right? There's definitely more messages, you know what I'm saying? I would love to see the rest of the messages. Dude, total degenerate. But we know this, okay? We know this guy is a degen. Dude. Right. There he is. What an idiot, dude. Dude. Says prosecute ICE. I mean, I'm not even going to listen to him. Dude, what is with the haircut, bro? Why do all of these MAGA losers have like really shitty Lego hair? Like, what is it, dude? His haircut it looks like he's like a third grader, right? Doesn't it? Isn't this the haircut that like a Sunday school teaching mom gives her like, 6-year-old boy? And she like gives him the fucking Where's Waldo haircut. That's totally the haircut, right? It is. It's like not even good Lego hair. It's totally like my mom teaches Sunday school and she comes and like licks my hair to make sure it goes around my ears nice. Oh, and she lays out my undies for me. Oh, thank you, mommy. Dude, homeschool. Totally. Dude, totally, dude. That is absolutely like homeschool haircut. Absolutely, dude. Dude, crazy. Yeah, dude. Dude, look at him. Look at him. He's like, with his arms out wide, dude. Look at him. Watch him. All right, you ready? Here we go. Watch.
Baby, America first, America only. We'll see you here, February 7th.
Dude. Dude, he does. He kicks like a nerd, bro. Dude, he is such a geek, dude. Oh my God. Bro, what a weirdo, dude. He almost fell over with the first kick, too. Oh, man. That is something else, guys. It is just, right? It is just the fucking always the same shit with these guys. They're all like PDFs, dude. Every last one of them are PDFs. All right? Every last one of them, guys. Dude, Epstein Island is trending. We got something good here. How is it that dorks, weirdos, and creeps took over the country? Let's go, Curious! Curious George, good to see you, brother! I mean, I honestly don't know, guys. I guess my best guess is this, is that we had such a forward swing with society evolving that eventually there was going to be a backswing, and these guys have access to a ton of money. All right. And so this is our little backslide, right? You've heard the phrase 2 steps forward, 1 step back. This is the 1 step back. The good news is I don't think the step back is going to last for very long. I think, it's galvanizing a lot of evolution. You know what I'm saying? As they usually do. Like a good example, let's look at the Georgia special election. Okay? Here's a great example. All right, let's go to look at New York Times. Here we go. Right? This is Marjorie Taylor Greene's. Right? This is Marjorie Taylor Greene's district. Okay? This was a Trump plus 37 district. Trump plus 37. Yikes. Okay? This Marjorie Taylor Greene is quitting. She's leaving. So they're replacing her. Okay? Now, it was an open ballot, which meant there was no primary for Dems or Republicans. It was an open ballot, and if somebody gets 50%, they win the seat, right? But nobody got 50%, so it goes to a runoff with the top 2, which turns out to be Sean Harris, a Democrat who's actually winning, okay, and Clayton Fuller, the Republican. So in the first ballot, a Democrat won. Now it's going to a runoff, gonna be a wild runoff. Can you imagine if a Democrat wins the Marjorie Taylor Greene Trump plus 37 seat. I mean, this shouldn't even be going to a runoff. And can I just tell you, the people on the right are freaking out by this. Like, for example, you know our little buddy Eric Doherty, okay, right? This guy who does the propaganda. This guy, look at what this guy wrote. This is hilarious. You ready? Oh my God, I laid into him today because look what he wrote about this. You ready? Look at this. Here's how Eric Doherty framed it. Eric Doherty said, breaking, Donald Trump endorsed Clayton Fuller wins Georgia U.S. House District 14 GOP slot to replace Marjorie Taylor Greene in Congress. Fuller now advances to an April runoff against the Democrat as nobody got a majority of votes tonight. Trump's pick advances. He says he wins the GOP slot. But dude, there was no GOP slot. It was an open ballot. This guy didn't win anything. This guy is lucky he's going to a runoff. It was a Trump plus 37 district. It should have been an easy win. Dude, I literally got in there and was like, he didn't win shit. There was no GOP primary, you lying piece of crap. It was an open ballot, and he's in second place behind the Democrat in a district that Trump won plus 37, dude. The fact that this is going to a runoff is a massive blow for you, MAGA, right? Dude, they lie about everything, guys. Like, what a lie, though, bro. Right? I mean, isn't that a crazy lie? That is a crazy lie. Oh, he wins the GOP slot. Dude, they literally just can't. It's like they can't not lie. Everything they do, everywhere they go, they just lie and lie and lie. Dude, look at this guy. This guy looks like a diddler. I'm sorry, bro. I think if we look into his past, there's going to be a restraining order in there somewhere. There's going to be a, like, do not go within 1,200 feet of a school. There is definitely some diddling going on. Dude, why'd he choose this picture of Trump, dude? Dude, seriously, did he lose his hard drive or something? Like, honestly, why'd he pick this picture of Trump, dude? That is like the worst picture of Trump ever, dude. Dude. His nunt doesn't even look good, dude. Dude, Jesus. Dude, the neck-gina. Even the neck-gina is revolting. But yeah, dude, that is crazy. All right? That is crazy. It's pretty gerrymandered, too, as you'll see. But, dude, plus 37. Okay? That is wild, okay? Crazy, dude. Crazy, 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 crazy. Just absolutely batshit, guys. You're crying a little? I mean, it happens, guys. It happens. Yeah, that is some wild stuff. I can't believe that Sean Harris is winning it. And now, I mean, dude, it's going to be a crazy race because, you know, if we show all the candidates, there are a lot of Republicans. So if you look at it here, right, if you look, there's another 13, 18, 22, 23, 24. There's probably another 30,000 Republican votes. And there aren't as many Democratic votes. So there is still a pretty good chance that Sean Harris loses this thing because there are just so many Republican votes. If these guys turn out, if they all turn out and they all vote for Colton Moore, or I mean, if they all vote for Clayton Fuller, I mean, he's still going to win the seat. But yeah, that is a, you know, he still should have won like more than half. It shouldn't even be a runoff, right? It shouldn't even be a runoff. But you never know, man. Dude, would be nice to flip. Would be nice to flip. Reagan Box, yep. Dude, who is Reagan Box? There she is. Reagan Box, candidate for Georgia's U.S. Senate 2026. Jesus. Dude. She's a little crazy. Dude, her name is Reagan Box. All right. There she is. So I guess she's running for Senate too? Weird. Dude, yeah. I mean, Georgia, boss. You ever been to Georgia? Dude, it's pretty crazy. It's pretty like Atlanta is cool as hell, right? But if you go to that northern corner where this is, or the southern corner, it's pretty wild, dude. Especially the southeastern part. You go down in the southeastern part of Georgia, and it is like another time zone, like a time machine and shit. You know, you go down there. I mean, the buildings are incredible. There's like all kinds of the architecture, all the old plantation houses and shit. But it's like, you feel it. You feel how it's just like another time, dude. It doesn't feel, you don't feel like you're in the modern era anymore. You feel like it's still like 50 years ago, dude. It's crazy. But all right. So there we go. Banging this shit out. Shall we look at Pete Hegseth? Okay. Dude, Pete Hegseth is fucking, what is this guy doing, bro? What is this guy doing? Dude, let's find a good report about this, shall we? Dude, it's unreal. I mean, most of this is going to be about the war. But the shit that they spent the money on is crazy, dude. Dude, what an idiot. Oh my God. Dude, I would love to see these whole cold opens. I bet they're so good. I can't watch them though because we will get pinged, dude. We'll get copy struck if we watch them. All right, I'm not seeing a good fucking, right? I'm not seeing exactly what I want to see video wise. So we're going to stick to dude, that's a funny photo. We're going to stick to Twitter. Well, let's look at some of this, okay? I believe the original story, where did the original story come out? Right? So the basic idea behind this, guys, is that Pete Hegseth has been spending like a fucking madman, okay? He has just been blowing through money. Just blowing through it. Okay? Just absolutely just pissing money away. Now, one of the things about this that is so problematic is these guys rode into power on this, idea that they're good with money, okay? That they're the fiscally responsible ones that are, can manage the budget, can handle, these big jobs. They're the ones that are going to trim all the fat and make the government just this lean, mean operating machine. Now, one of the big problems with Pete Hegseth is he had no financial money experience. Okay, when you're managing the Department of Defense, that's like the biggest agency in the whole government. Okay, $1 trillion budget, right? This thing is massive. It is like a massive, massive fucking budget. And Pete Hegseth had never managed a budget at all. He had managed like a $2 million nonprofit, and he drove it into the ground. He bankrupted a small $2 million budget nonprofit. He ran it right into the shitter. So this guy had no fiscal management experience whatsoever. In addition to being a grapist and being, a drunk, a big time boozer. Okay. But Pete Hegseth blew billions on fruit basket stands, chairs, and crab. Okay, the Defense Department went on a $93 billion spending spree in 2025. Okay, the Pentagon, this is 1 year. Okay, 1 year. All right, and then in particular, $93 billion was in 1 month. Okay, it wasn't $93 billion over the course of the year that he spent. He spent $93 billion in the month of September alone. Okay, the Pentagon spent more money in September, the end of the 2025 fiscal year, than it had in any other year since 2008. But a good chunk of the budget wasn't used for anything that could be considered a pertinent military expense. The Defense Department burned through $93 billion that month alone, signing checks left and right in order to dry up its congressionally allocated budget, according to recent analysis by the government watchdog. So essentially what they did was, and this is common, people do this, government budgets do this, but in order to justify wanting a bigger budget, what they do is they just burn through all of the budget they have left. If they have anything left, they use it all. So then they can be like, see, we ran out of money. And so you need to give us more money next year. But dude, $93 billion, that's a lot of money in a month. There is pressure to spend. If federal agencies don't use the entirety of their budgets by the end of the fiscal year, they lose access to that cash forever, potentially putting themselves in a situation where they have to request a reduced budget the following year. But the Pentagon's long list of luxuries is hardly defensible. Some of the frivolous September purchases made under Pete Hegseth include a $98,000 Steinway & Sons grand piano for the Air Force Chief of Staff's home, $5.3 million for Apple devices such as a new iPad, and an astronomical amount of shellfish, including $2 million for Alaskan king crab and $6.9 million worth of lobster tail. So, dude, they spent $9 million on fucking crab and lobster, bro. $9 million. Okay, $5 million on iPads, $98,000 on a piano. Dude, like, really? $9 million? But we don't get health care. We don't get SNAP. We don't get, right? You know what I mean? Like, I can't even get a decent tax credit. And they're spending $9 million on fish, dude. The department spent more than $7.4 million total on fucking lobster in March, May, June, and October. So they're spending millions of dollars. Like, how much fucking lobster are these guys eating, dude? How much lobster can you possibly eat to spend like millions of dollars on lobster, right? Seriously, how much lobster are these guys eating? Like 20 fucking tails a day, dude, right? In other pricey food purchases, the government decided to drop $15.1 million for ribeye steak, $124,000 for ice cream machines, and $139,000 on 272 orders of donuts. Dude, what is that, bro? Hold on, 139,000 divided by 272 means they're spending $500 per donut order. $500 per donut order. True war pigs, yes. Dude, let's go. Curious. They are like war pigs, bro. Dude, that shit is nuts, bro. Okay, weeks later, millions of Americans would lose their SNAP benefits amid the longest government shutdown in U.S. history. More still stand to lose eligibility to the food assistance program thanks to a Republican crusade that added stricter work requirements to the program, piling on paperwork and documentation mandates. One of the largest bulk expenditures was for furniture, for which the Pentagon decided to shell out $225 million. That included $12,000 for fruit basket stands and checks totaling more than $60,000 for Herman Miller recliners. All in all, the agency spent more on furniture in 2025 than it had in over a decade. In the last 5 days of September alone, the department blew through $50.1 billion on just grants and contracts. For context, only 9 other countries spend that much on the entirety of their defense budget per year. It's also more than the total military budgets of Canada and Mexico combined. Now, I'd be really curious about the grants and contracts money, like how much of that is ending up somehow in their pockets, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, how much of that is ending up in their pockets? You just know, right? You just know that some of it probably is ending up in their fucking pockets, dude. It's somewhere, bro. Right? The federal government had a $1.8 trillion deficit in 2025. Ultimately, the military's massive expenditures offered up more evidence that the Trump admin has not put any meaningful effort into cracking down on needless government spending, a pledge that Trump has wielded on the campaign trail since 2015. Under Secretary Hegseth, the Pentagon has consistently said its mission is to refocus on war fighting and lethality, when in fact they focus on furniture and lobster tail. All right, last year we highlighted the problem of wasteful, use it or lose it year-end spending. We noted this reform is fully within the Secretary's control and is a historic opportunity to make good on that promise. So there you go, dude. So, I mean, there he is. He's blowing it out to justify a bigger budget next year, but they're just wasting it on shit. Right? They're wasting it on, on fucking hoo-ha. Dude, I can't believe, though. I wonder about their contracts. And because you may have noticed, guys, I don't know if you saw this, but it does bear looking at. Something happened today that was pretty good news. Okay, which was this right here, right? Ben Yoho, who is Trisha McLaughlin's husband, is under investigation. Now, who's Ben Yoho? We don't hear a lot about him, but remember, Kristi Noem, she came under fire because there was a $143 million ad contract, okay? Actually, I don't know if it was for ads, but there was a $143 million contract that went to a company that had been created 8 days earlier. Okay, 8 days before they were awarded $143 million, a company had incorporated, and there was no business address. There were no employees. It had no previous history of ever working for the government, of ever having a government contract. Nobody could even find out who these people are. And yet they got a $143 million government contract, a brand new business that had no work experience whatsoever, no employees. And it turns out that that company was run by Ben Yoho, which is Trisha McLaughlin's husband. Trisha McLaughlin was Kristi Noem's assistant. So basically, Kristi Noem's assistant, her husband is, the guy in the company getting the $143 million, but now he's being investigated. Okay? The Safe American Media was basically they were supposed to produce an ad campaign for DHS, $143 million. So it was an ad campaign. All right. So Safe American Media, which was this brand new company founded by Trisha McLaughlin's husband, right, got $143 million to do an ad campaign. And now it looks like her husband is getting investigated, right? It says here, what does it say? It says, according to public reporting, the strategy group and you yourself have a long relationship with Kristi Noem and Corey Lewandowski, right? It says the circumstances surrounding the awarding of this lucrative no-bid contract that ultimately benefited a business with long-standing personal and business ties to Kristi Noem raise a number of important questions, right? And it says that most recently, the strategy group received a subcontract from Safe America Media to help produce a DHS campaign while your wife, Trisha McLaughlin, served as the Assistant Secretary of Homeland Security. And this week, Noem testified that she knows both you and your firm, despite your wife's recent social media statement that neither you nor Strategy Group have ever had a contract with DHS. The Strategy Group confirmed this week that it did receive a subcontract to work on the no bid ad campaign, and that it was paid $226,000 for 5 film shoots, 45 produced video advertisements, and 6 radio advertisements. It's not clear why Safe America Media, a company that was incorporated 7 days before it received the $143 million contract, was awarded such a large sum on an uncompetitive basis to perform work it has no proven track record of undertaking. Because that's what's crazy about this, guys, is this was a no bid contract. Okay, there are some contracts where you bid and people bid and bid and bid, and maybe they give it to the lowest bidder who doesn't have that much experience because they're trying to save money. But this was a no bid contract, which means whoever gets it, you don't have to bid. You automatically are getting the $143 million for the whole thing, which means there's no way you're going to give that to a company that has no track record. Okay, if you're doing a no bid contract of $143 million for media production, you are going to give it to a company that has a long track record of producing media, so you know that you're not going to get screwed, right? But this was a company that incorporated 7 days prior, had no employees, had never produced one piece of media. Nothing. Never made anything. They had no portfolio of any kind. And they got a guaranteed no bid $143 million contract. Dude. Oh my God, dude. Dude, my balls are vibrating and trying to summon money just reading about this. Dude, it is such a scam. Dude, such a con. Okay? But yes, he is getting investigated, as he should. Okay? As he should. Dude, what the fuck, bro? Every one of them, every single one of these people are crooked. Okay? Every single one of these people are crooked, dude. They are all just fleecing and scamming and conning and padding their pockets and, pulling money out. Everyone. Dude. Brutal. Right? Dude, let's go. So anyway, though, nothing will happen here, guys. All right, because if you look at it, it's Blumenthal and Peter Welch. So it's two senators that are like looking into this. But again, this won't happen. Nothing will happen until we win the House. Okay? We take back the House in November, and this investigation, along with a ton of other ones, will in fact move forward. Just in FYI, guys. This is more of an impetus. Like what I said in response to this thing, guys, was I said this, that like when the Trump admin is over, like we literally, here's what I envision, guys. When the Trump admin is done, I think we have to expand the Justice Department. You know how Trump is building a ballroom, the Epstein ballroom? I want to build a fucking ballroom and call it the fucking DOJ ballroom of total shark lawyers. And I want to fill it with some of the most aggressive prosecutorial fraud lawyers on the planet. And then investigate every last motherfucker MAGA person from the Trump admin. I'm serious. We should hire like 100 new lawyers and investigate them all, because I am sure they left a paper trail. I am certain of it. They're so dumb and they're so brazen. The hubris is so crazy that like I'm sure there's an easy trail to follow, right? Dude, I want to see it. I want to see the official Pam Bondi wing of the Department of Justice that is just filled with sharks. Dude, I want like sharks. Okay, guys that have prosecuted like mobster RICO cases. I want a room full of those guys, and I want to get them all jacked up on fucking Adderall and real strong fucking coffee and like joke cola, and then just turn them loose, dude. Be like, go, dog, go. Trumpy will be like, oh, why are all these lawyers like in my diaper? Oh, get your hand off my prostate, Jack Smith. Dude, let's go. Dude, in fact, guys, I may go get a law degree. Let me get my UCLA transcripts. I might have to go get a law degree to get in on this, boss. It may not be too late, dude. Maybe I'll get a quick law degree and fucking get in on this. Dude, oh shit. Crushed testicles. Round 2. Dude, I almost went back and got a law degree, guys. It was like, I mean, you know, those of you who have listened to my album, Let Go Afterglow, you'll probably be glad that I didn't. The same with Number 3 Breakdown. Like before I wrote Radiant and those songs, I almost went back to school. I did. I got my transcript sent up from UCLA, and I was going to go to Lewis and Clark. I was going to finish my undergraduate, and I was going to go to law school. And at the time, I was like 31, 32. And I was living with my girlfriend, Kari, and she talked me out of it, right? I'd been running a recording studio out of my house, and I was just in a funk. I hadn't had a band in a while. I was working a bartending job I didn't love, and I was just sort of directionless, and I didn't feel like music was going to, you know, pan out. And so I got my transcript set up, and I was ready to pull the trigger on it. And then my girlfriend like sat me down and she talked me out of it. She did. She talked me out of it. And then what ended up happening was she and I broke up a short time later. And then I had this band called Number 3 Breakdown that was wildly successful. That is when you know, where the song Radiant showed up. And then I quit that band and I recorded my solo album, and then I toured the country for like 2 years. So I made my best music ever, and I toured the country, got to see every nook and cranny of the United States because I didn't go to law school. So it was amazing. It was pretty incredible, right? And then I recorded Failure Looks So Good with a full band shortly after my son was born. And then I gave up music and I moved into the film world. But so it, you know, I'm glad Kari talked me out of it, because man, like the traveling I did from like 2004 to 2006 was like unbelievable, right? Unbelievable. I've met Carlos Santana. Yeah, it's a funny story. Told that one before. Yeah, he's a good guy. But dude, there you go, man. So sometimes you just got to roll with it. Yeah, but now I would have a law degree. Yeah, but like a law degree, dude, I know a bunch of lawyers. A law degree is not going to be even remotely as interesting as having toured the country as a rock and roller. I hate to say it, right? Like law degrees are great, but like, dude, having a law degree versus touring the country and fucking, you know, for 2 years, like I'd rather tour the country for 2 years by a long shot, dude. Law degrees are pretty fucking boring. They really are, you know? And even then, you ready? Like, let me just tell you too, because it's the same shit, right? Where even if you have a law degree, you still like 90% of the lawyers are like doing shit work. You know what I'm saying? Only a small percentage of them end up being like top prosecutors or having their own law firms representing like big clients, or some of my buddies who are like entertainment lawyers, right? Like 90% of people, even with law degrees, they end up just having shit jobs where they make pretty good money. Okay, they do. They make pretty good money, but it's not like lovable, exciting work. You know? You know what I mean? I mean, those are facts. Dude, most lawyers don't ever get to do really exciting work, right? Some of them do. You know, like my buddy Mitch, he's, you know, Anthony Hopkins' lawyer, dude. He's like in the center of like this big Hollywood shit. His life is crazy. And he's hanging out with like really big stars, having crazy power lunches. He's got a Bel Air home, right? A Beverly Hills office in a corner with windows. And like, dude, he's living the dream. But like, dude, every one of my fraternity brothers were lawyers, and like just about, and like none of them are living like Mitch is. You know what I'm saying? Like none of them are, dude. Like, I mean, there's a couple who like went to Georgetown and are like, you know, lawyers in New York City and shit like that. So there's a couple that are close, but like out of like 80 lawyers, there's like 4 that are living the life. And the rest are just, you know, whatever. They're, you know, doing personal injury shit or what have you. You know, tax law, right? Yeah, I mean, they're still well paid. But like right now, though, guys, I'm like, my life is awesome, you know, because I don't have a boss. I mean, I work a lot. I have to work 7 days a week. It's like an around the clock thing, but I don't have a boss. I do it all in my house in my fucking pajamas. I never have to drive in traffic. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, I would take this over being a like medium successful lawyer any day. You know what I'm saying? Like, for sure. I mean, I wouldn't mind having a job like Mitch is. But the thing about it though is here's the other thing though that's a clincher. And let me just say, dance party, all right, I'll do that in a minute. I want to close with this. I want to say too, though, that it's hard because if you go back to, and if you go to become a lawyer at the age of 32, there's a really good chance that you're not gonna blaze the normal path, because the normal path of lawyers is they go in working when they're young, and they go, and to get partner in a firm, you have to work like 150 hours a week for like years. So you normally do that when you're like 22, right? When you're just a grinder and you have no fucking life. That's what a lawyer does. You get out of law school, you find some firm that you get into, and then you try to grind becoming a partner, and you work your ass off for like 5-6 years. And then once you become a partner in that firm, you build it out from there. But you're not really going to do that when you're 35 or 37. If you get out of law school at 37, you know, that's going to be a lot harder, right? You're going to have to do some crazy shit. You're going to end up like Saul Goodman and shit. Saul Goodman. Dude, you get to talk shit, play video games all day, play on player. Let's go. Yeah, I don't play video games anymore, but I used to. But yeah, you're going to be like Saul Goodman shit. But it's interesting based on case law and logic. Dude, I love lawyering though. Like if I had to have a job, right? If they forced me to take a job in the straight world, I would be a lawyer. That would be the job I'd pick for sure. I'd be good at that too, right? In, you know, like prosecuting a case, winning over a jury, dude, I'd be great at it. But not in the cards, right? You know? All right. That was a good sidebar. Thank you. Thank you for coming to my sidebar. Oh, yeah. Fucking, dude, thank you, Curious. Somebody wants they want the fucking dance party goal. Let's get it going. Pine Box, baby. Pine Box. Pine Box. There it is. Dance party. Pine Box. Pine Box. Oh! All right. Dude, you ready? You ready to look at some of the crazy TPUSA shit, guys? This shit is wild. All right, give me 1 sec here. I do want to look at what's going on real quick. Let me just look at something here. It's going to take me 1 minute here to look over some shit. Dude, Pine Box LFG, let's go, Ella! Let's go! Curious George, let's go, boss. Appreciate you, brother. All right. Dude, stop the stupidity. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Dude, no way, dude. Dad shoes. Oh my God, dude. Dad shoes. Dude, that one's, you're getting a 𝗙𝗍𝗍𝗪𝗍, dude. 𝗙𝗍𝗍𝗪𝗍. Oh, shit, dude. Dude, he's making it rain, dude. Dad shoes just made it rain, boss. Let's go. Oh, shit. You're getting a Trumpy, too. A Trumpy snuff. Dude, enough snuff. Trump. Trumpy snuff, dude. Dude, blunt front. Let's go. By the way, guys, we are getting a Paula. We're gonna get a Paula. What's her name? Paula White animation, right? One of the ones up here. One of the ones like the clown kid. We're getting a Paula White animation that's gonna be amazing. Dude, Shin Godzilla, let's go. Dude, let's go. Dude, the Elon one is pretty amazing, isn't it? I love the Elon, dude. We have the good animations here. And the Paula White one is going to be great, dude. I've already begun work on the Paula White one. All right? Let's go. Oh, shit. Dude, Paula White, dude, I've got a little bit of a crush on her. I'm not gonna lie, dude. I've got a little bit of a crush on Paula White. She is the tongues lady, dude. She is insane. You know what I mean? It is, there's something about her, dude. I always like the crazy ones, bro. And then, dude, she is like fucking batshit. You know, she is like, you gotta sleep with one eye open. Why am I crushing on her? Because, dude, because she's absolutely certifiably insane. And I'm sure she is like wild, bro. Okay? I've known some crazy Christian women, and they are usually wild. They are, dude. Like, we're talking next level. You know what I'm saying? It is like, you know, where sin meets salvation. Whoa, shit, bro. Where the sin meets the salvation, my friend. You're like head spins around like the Exorcist. Yes. Yes, dude. Strike and strike and strike and strike. Let's go, Blossom. I hear the sound of victory. I hear the sound of the gnashing of teeth. Strike and strike and strike and strike. Dude, oh shit. Yeah, they start speaking in tongues, bro, and shit just gets wild. Oh, dude. You right? Right? You know what I'm saying? You just know. You just know. I'm like, oh, yeah, dude. There's like, you're going to be like, you know, like you hang out with Paula White, you wake up the next morning and you are like walking bow-legged, dude. I guarantee you, you are walking bow-legged for at least a week. Dude, it's worth it though, right? It is. Dude. All right, there we go. That's all I have to say about Paula White, dude. Yeah, the crazy ones. You want to see the clip? All right, let's watch the clip. Dude, no way, dude. Wilfred, where's Elon Musk and Big Balls when you need them? Dude, Wilfred, you're crazy. Dude, Wilfred's getting a tickle too. Oh, shit, here we come. There it is. Crazy. Dude, Big Balls is coming in hot. Let's go. Dude, Gen W coming in hot. Let's go, Gen W. Thank you, boss. Oh, yes. Getting 2 for Gen W. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. Let's watch the Paula White clip, okay? All right. Oh, shit, dude. Dude, I love it. Here it is. All right, this is the one, dude. Right? Again, these are the people, okay? These are the people that say that the Iranians are lunatics, okay? But again, dude, she is like double cray. Here we go.
Strike and 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 strike until you have victory. For every enemy that is aligned against you, let there be that we would strike the ground, for you will give us victory, God. I hear a sound of abundance of rain. I hear a sound of victory. I hear a sound of shouting and singing. I hear a sound of victory. I hear a sound of an abundance of rain. I hear a sound of victory. I hear a sound of an abundance of rain. I hear a sound of victory. The Lord says it is done. The Lord says it is done. The Lord says it is done.
Let's go.
For I hear victory, 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 victory in the corridors of heaven. In the corridors of heaven, victory, 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 victory. For angels are being released right now. Angels are being dispatched right now.
There we go. You go.
For angels have even been dispatched from Africa right now. Africa right now. Africa right now. From Africa right now. They're coming here. They're coming here. In the name of Jesus. From South America. They're coming here. They're coming here. They're coming here. They're coming here. From Africa. From South America. Angelic forces. Angelic reinforcement. Angelic reinforcement. Angelic reinforcement. Pika hata anda ata. Ora bata rata ande eke eke manda rasata. For I hear the sound of victory. victory. I hear the sound of 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 victory.
Dude, right? Like, dude. Dude. Crazy. Dude. Isn't she insane? Like, what a weirdo, dude. I think she hears the sound of victory, right? I literally think she hears the sound of, the line though that gets me is I hear the sound of abundance of rain. Like, what is she even talking about, bro? Anda, aga, ata, anga, ata. Right? Dude, yeah. Yeah, no, the guy who's walking behind her, homeboy just keeps walking past. He's like reading, dude. He's back there, whatever. Dude, I hear the sound of victory. I hear the sound and abundance of rain. Anda, ata, anda, ata. Yeah, dude, he's learning his lines. He's like, dude, that shit is crazy. And then it fucking drops out to the wide shot and she is just like standing there. Dude, what a bunch of lunatics. Dude, those mega churches though, right? Those mega churches are wild, dude. Okay? I mean, she was a lot younger then. Now she's like way older, right? I think that clip is from a while ago. That clip is like 15 years ago or something. Because she's older now. You know, she's definitely, this is not a recent clip. Okay, this is like when she was much younger. Now, you know the other thing that she did that was crazy, right? The other thing that she did is she had a church in Florida, okay, where she was like the pastor of a church or something, and this church took in like $150 million and then like went belly up, right? Like, I think she looted, I think she like stole like $150 million from a church, dude. She had a church that took in $150 million and then it just like was broke after that. And she like all of a sudden just disappeared, dude. So yeah, she's got some fat stacks, bro. Define church? Yeah. I mean, church is anything that takes tax-free money where you go anda, ata, anga, ata. And if you can raise $150 million doing that, you have a church. Right? Just go anda, ata, anda, ata. And if you wake up the next morning and there's $100 million in your bank account, you're in a church. All right, that's how you know. That's how you can tell. Dude, culty, cult, ridiculous people. Yes, town native. Yes, no, you're not wrong. But yeah, dude, here's another one of my favorite clips, dude. Here she is.
Hey! Modarabaka sakatara baka sakatara.
Dude, there you go. Dude, that's gonna be the fucking the Paula White clip. The dude, she says suck twice in there, bro. Dude, if you want to find Paula White clips, just search Paula White on Twitter. All right? If you search Paula White on Twitter, you'll find them all, dude. Dude, she has all the good clips, bro.
Want to be a blessing because I'm telling you, there's an anointing a release right now. I want $100,000 to come in. I want $100,000. There are people, there are 10 people that could give $10,000. There's 100 people that could give $1,000. Get a check, make it payable to Paula White Ministry. There are people that are watching right now.
Make a check payable to Paula White Ministry. $100,000 right now. See what they do? Dude, this is a racket. And people think they're buying their salvation, dude.
Say, I don't have it. Give $100. Bring up a sacrificial seed. This isn't for me. This is about kids.
This isn't for me. It's about kids. It's about Jesus. This is about you getting into heaven. Dude, it is such a scam, though. Dude, isn't that crazy? It isn't about me. I know I'm wearing a $75,000 tennis bracelet, but I swear it's not about me. I know my husband has a $200,000 watch, and we drove here in a Rolls Royce, but it's not about us, okay? Forget about all that. It's about Jesus caring for those little kids, like, somewhere, right? I'm sure there's kids somewhere that need to be cared for, and we're going to care for them. Send in $10,000 right now.
They will die without you being obedient. This is about
Oh, they'll die. Will you hear that? Check this out.
sacrificial seed. This isn't for me. This is about kids that will die without you being obedient. This is about kids who are going to be minstrels and instruments and warriors and mighty for God. This is about kids who will make a difference. I'm not going to take everybody's blessing. Come on. I'm going to tell you, get a seed of sacrifice.
Dude, get a seed of sacrifice. Dude, shit is bonkers, bro. Right? Dude. Dude, you know, I mean, you need to burn some sage. You should burn a lot of sage, guys. All right. Speaking of, though, we got 14 minutes left. All right, we got 14 on the big board. 14 minutes for the dance party. Let's go. Dude, she's wild. I wonder if we have any more clips. There's not really a lot of clips of her. Oh, wait, what do we got here?
And the Lord says he thrust you suddenly, fire, power.
Dude, all right, some faith healing.
In the name of Jesus, we command all satanic pregnancies to miscarry right now. We declare that anything that's been conceived in satanic...
Dude, declaring all satanic pregnancies to miscarry? What a weirdo. This isn't for Jesus, it's for dance party. Let's go! Dude, Pine Box rave. Let's go, Ella. Thank you. Little faith healing. Dude, Gig with the gifted membership. Let's go. Thank you, Gig. Dude, I don't know how we got on the Paula White tangent, but all right. Dude, Nicole, let's go. Thank you, Nicole. Dude, there is a funny one, right? That is like, oh, there we go. Dude, LFG, Pine Box, Lucy Lou's mom, let's go! Dude, I love it with the cat.
Here, in the name of Jesus.
Dude, we got the disco cat. Oh, shit, bro. Oh, let's see. Somebody called her out.
Paula White says anyone who tells you to deny yourself is from Satan. Women's Convention in Orlando, Florida, broadcast on TBN, October 30th, 2007. She says, I believe that when you honor God on Passover, starting on April 12th, that would have been some particular year. We'll find out, I think, at the end. Anyway. at sundown through Good
Dude,
Friday.
I don't have the
on
patience of
18th.
watching these guys. Dude, all of these religious people are boring as shit, dude. Strike a, hata, anda, rata, kalalaga. Let's go. Thank you, BJM. Dude, stop the stupidity. Can I just tell you guys? So, there's a network called TBN, Trinity Broadcasting Network. Okay, this was a cable channel that had like the 700 Club and all this crazy shit. The 700 Club was occasionally on regular TV, but then cable came out and you had Trinity Broadcasting Network, TBN, 24 hours a day. And they had the 700 Club was like always on. And then they had Jimmy Swaggart. Okay, he was the big guy in the 70s and 80s that all of my super zealoty Assembly of God, like deeply evangelical Christian half brothers and sisters were into this church called the Assembly of God. And they used to watch Jimmy Swaggart. They were like so enamored, like he was their guy. He was the big faith preacher of the 70s. And then he had a sex scandal where he was, you know, like visiting prostitutes and shit at seedy motels. And it came out that he had quite the sex scandal. And then he like begged for forgiveness. He apologized, had a whole apology tour, and then he was back on the thing. Dude, yeah, Swaggart was like, bro, homie was Benny Johnson before there was Benny Johnson. Dude, Dab, 𝗙cie𝗶𝗹𝗪𝗧𝗍𝗍. Let's go, Dab. All right, guys. Now we got to get serious, though. It's time to rally up the dance party. Anda, ata, Copeland's blowing. Demise, let's dance. Let's go, Shelly. Let's go. All right, we got 15 and 10, baby. We got plenty of time. I'm not even going to worry about it. Oh, wait. Oh, but yeah, dude, that was like, I grew up watching a lot of Trinity, a lot of TBN, guys. And not because I wanted to, but because I was forced to watch it because of my half brothers and sisters, right? In the cable, while they were watching that shit, you know, I was, you know, like 11, 12 years old. I was watching like Porky's and Fast Times and, you know, Zapped and all these crazy sort of like movies that I probably shouldn't have been watching at age 10, 11 years old. Last American Virgin. I went that route. Okay. They went like Jimmy Swaggart. And I was like, no, I'm going Porky's and Last American Virgin. Dude, Zapped. You remember that movie? Did you see that movie, dude? Zapped. Oh shit. Dude, Scott Baio and Willie Ames. Oh fuck, dude. All of those old cable movies with like, you know, all the like sexual themes. Dude, I watched all that shit. And when I was in middle school, dude, I used to stay up late at night watching the movie channels. Oh, I love that shit. Not sure about White Jesus, he creepy. Sup, fam? Let's go, May Money. Let's go. I went a different route, guys. I went a different route. I veered away from, right? I veered away from my family's, you know, my family went one way. I went the other way. Dude, and no regrets either. Because, dude, they're all crazy, okay? You see this shit, though? Pam Bondi moved. Dude, she moved to a military base, dude. Pam Bondi relocated from D.C., from her apartment to a military base, right? Because everybody's mad at her, and, like, Maduro supporters and cartels want to take her head. They want to take her scalp. Dude, she's now on a military base too. Isn't it crazy? Like the Trump people just can't even exist in the real world, dude. They're so toxic, right? They're so toxic, right? She though is crazy. Like, look at her, bro. Honestly, Like, what is wrong with her? Why does she look like a pod, right? The Epstein class, she's definitely the Epstein class. But why do they all look like androids? You know what I'm saying? I mean, she totally looks like she fits in with the Huffines family, right? You know the Huffines, right? You've seen them. Like, our crazy New Mexico people. Dude, like, look at them. You ready? Dude, what on earth, guys? Look at that couple. What? How? Right? And then there's one of their kids. I mean, look at her, bro. Like, is she just huffing the Lord or what? And then, of course, you got Carrie Lake. Look at their daughter, though. Dude. What are we doing, boss? Like, tell me. I mean, these are the people that are like, you know, I don't know. These are the people that are spiritually advising President Trump. And you wonder, I mean, this guy's probably the most normal of the bunch, is him. Dude. Yo, bro. But look at that, dude. Like, she looks like she has fucking seen the devil, doesn't she? I mean, I know there's no devil and all that, but doesn't she look like she saw? Like she looked into the eyes of a Dementor? Yes, exactly. Like Harry Potter shit. She like breathed in the Dementor, and when she breathed out, she looked like that, dude. That is wild, bro. Like, dude. Wow. Right? I like, guys, I'm not gonna sleep tonight, okay? I'm serious, dude. I'm gonna fucking, like, I am going to never sleep again, boss. You know? Dude, my favorite thing, though, is the hairline, dude, right? You are so beautiful to me. You are so beautiful to me. Can't you see? You're everything I hope for. You're everything I need. You are so beautiful to me. Oh, God. Jesus. Oh, my God, dude. That is, dude, 15 more. Let's go, guys. All right. Now we got to hunker down, bro. We got to hunker down. She's staring at us. What do we need? We need 14 in 3 minutes, guys, for the dance party. Let's go, dude. Yeah, I don't think I'm ever going to sleep again, dude. For real, smile too. Watch that shit. Damn, let's go. Oh, all right. 13 and 3. 13 and 3. Here we go. You are so beautiful to me. Mrs. Huffines, ever since you bought Zorro Ranch and unearthed the baby factory, you are so beautiful to me. Let's go, dude. Dad shoes. Bringing it in, dude. Let's go, dude. Nicole. Let's go, Nicole. Bringing it home. Thank you, Nicole. We got 2.5 minutes and we have 10 left, I believe, right? 10 left, 10 left. There it is. Vincent Payne, let's go. bringing it in, dude. Curious George, bringing it home, boss. Let's go, baby. Let's go, dude. Korg, coming in hot. Here we go. I think seven left, 8 left. Dude, 7 left. There we go. Born to Boogie dance party. Whoa! Let's go, wild card. Dude, for the serenade from Chi-Town native. Thank you. Dude, we love that Chi-Town. Dude, make her stop looking at me. I know, dude, Alice. I know it's hard. But she's an incentive. As soon as we make the goal, we take her face off the screen, dude. Dude, blunt front. Let's go. Dude, this is going to be the fastest fucking dance party ever. Oh, dude, isn't that crazy? Like, they are some crazy people, boss. Dude, yeah. Looked straight into the eyes of the devil. All right, 3 more. 1 minute, 3 more, baby. We got this. Dude, stop the stupidity. Let's go, big dog. Let's go. Oh! Dude, Nicole, let's go, dude. This is for my endless nightmare. Eyeballs askew. May money. Let's go, Nicole Fairless. Let's go. Here we go. Last one. Uno mas. Imagine waking up to that every day. I don't know, man. I don't know how you do it, boss. But that is quite the family, dude. That is quite the, like, these people are crazy, dude. Curious George, let's go. Goal achieved. There it is. Dude, let's go. We achieved the goal, dude. Dance party, Pine Box. Thank you, guys. Nicole, let's go. Coming in hot. Hey, you. I love the little pairs. They're amazing. The pairs with the headbands. Dude, yeah, that shit is wild, dude. All right. Dude, you know, there's just something about all of these guys that are like so crooked and so like deviant. You know what I mean? They are so crooked and so deviant and so scoundrelly. Like every single one of them is just, I don't know, dude. They're just like to the hilt. They are like to the hilt. They are fucking, you know what I'm saying? They are like, I don't know, dude. They are otherworldly in a way. They're so corrupt, right? They're so corrupt. They're so, you know, like living outside the bounds of normal reality. They appear to have no empathy, no compassion. Okay, they will lie and lie and lie and lie and lie with no qualms whatsoever. They defend their actions by as though they're like agents of the Lord. I mean, you know what I'm saying? They walk around calling other people like demons and demonic, but you look into their eyes and like you see Satan just looking into their eyes. You can see it. It like burns a hole through you. You know, they're like lizard people, I guess. You know, pretty wild, dude. They're usually strung out on like Ozempic or some other drug or alcohol. Like they definitely have like substance abuse issues. You know, crazy. All right, moving on though, guys. We got to look at the DOGE situation because this story is crazy. Okay? All right, you ready? We remember way back when, guys. All right, Elon Musk's DOGE. We're going to do a little background here before we get into this, okay? But so Elon's DOGE comes in the very beginning of Trump's administration. And remember that they were locking people out of their offices, okay? DOGE came in and they had laptops and a bunch of young guys. It was big balls, some other dudes that had no real experience. Many of them had been fired from jobs for all kinds of like shenanigans. And there was a little squad of these dudes who came in and they would go in and like lock the government employees out of their own agencies, okay, as though these guys owned the place. They're going in there just hijacking all of the computers. And they were like, you know, downloading data. They were using AI tools to scrub people's email accounts. And initially, one of the things they were doing was they were looking for people who talked about shit that it was woke. They were trying to identify woke or democratic or progressive or left-wing people so they could fire them all, right, by scrubbing their emails and their notes and anything in the office that, you know, at their various desks. But then they did other shit like downloading Social Security data, etc. Okay, downloading financial data. They wanted to download all the Treasury data. I mean, this shit was crazy. Okay, so here we go. This is an exclusive article. Washington Post says, whistleblower claims ex-DOGE member says he took Social Security data to new job. Huh. The Social Security Inspector General's office, all right, the Social Security Inspector General's office is investigating allegations that the former DOGE engineer took sensitive data on a thumb drive in a major potential security breach. So this guy supposedly went and took all of the Social Security data, put it on a thumb drive, and then took it to his new job. Okay? WTAF. Okay, there's the Social Security building in Maryland. All right. The SSA's internal watchdog is investigating a complaint that alleges a former U.S. DOGE service employee claimed he had access to 2 highly sensitive agency databases and planned to share the information with his private employer. A claim that, if true, would constitute an unprecedented breach of security protocols at an agency that serves more than 70 million Americans. Now, I think it should go without saying that this should fucking be illegal. And if this guy's actually doing this, there should be like a jail door slamming in his face, right? Like, come on, man. How is this not like of the utmost importance in being investigated? Okay, the agency's inspector general is investigating the disclosure and has alerted members of Congress of its existence. According to a letter by the acting inspector general, the top members of 4 congressional committees reviewed by the Washington Post, and 2 people familiar with the process who spoke on condition of anonymity. Now, by the way, we'd have to look into this, but remember, the inspector generals are like, Trump tried to get rid of all of them. Okay, hold on. Because I believe he was forced to rehire them. Okay, right? Look at this. You ready? So this was Storch versus Hegseth. Okay, this was back in September of 2025. So Trump fired all 17 inspector generals. He fired them all. Okay, all of the agency's inspector generals. And then what ended up happening was they sued in court and they all got like reinstated. But the first thing that Trump did was he was firing all of these. Okay, right? So, right? Which is why, like, none of this, we wouldn't be hearing about any of this if he didn't lose in court. Okay? Keep reading. Keep reading what? Right? But they didn't reinstate them. Okay? So it removed 16 of them. Okay, so a bunch of them did get fired. So they're still okay. Got it. So they didn't bring them all back. So a whole bunch of them still did get removed, that's even worse because now we have like, that means a whole bunch of other ones, like who knows what other fraud is going on in other agencies, right? Dude, it's so brutal, guys. You know what I'm saying? It's so brutal that like the first thing he does is just unloads all of the fucking people that like prosecute fraud or investigate fraud. I mean, they're so criminal, guys. They're so criminal. All right, you ready? So it says the Inspector General's office has also shared the disclosure with GAO, which has been conducting its own audit of DOGE's access to data. Okay, the Post has reviewed the complaint, spoke with the whistleblower who issued the complaint anonymously for fear of retaliation. According to the disclosure, the former DOGE software engineer who worked at SSA last year before starting a job at a government contractor in October allegedly told several co-workers he possessed 2 tightly restricted databases of U.S. citizens' information and had at least one on a thumb drive. The databases called Numident and Master Death File include records for more than 500 million living and dead Americans, including social security numbers, places and dates of birth, citizenship, race and ethnicity, and parents' names. The complaint does not include specific dates of when he is said to have told colleagues, but at least one of the alleged events unfolded around early January. While working at DOGE, the engineer had approved access to social security data. According to the complaint, he allegedly told the whistleblower that he needed help transferring data from a thumb drive to his personal computer so he could sanitize the data before using it at the new company. The engineer told colleagues that once he had removed personal details from the data, he wanted to upload it into the company's systems. He told another colleague who refused to help him upload the data because of legal concerns that he expected to receive a presidential pardon if his actions were deemed to be illegal. The complaint does not allege the engineer was successful in uploading the data to the company's system. So, dude, that's crazy that he's trying to enlist other people to help him break the law. And then he's saying, oh, but don't worry about it. If I get caught, I'm going to get pardoned by Trump. Okay? Isn't this insane? The Post is not naming the former DOGE member or company because it has not independently confirmed the accusations in the complaint. So they still have not confirmed the whistleblower's account. Okay, the whistleblower filed the complaint with the Inspector General in January. When the Post contacted the agency and the company in January, both said they had not heard of the complaint. Both said they subsequently looked into the allegations and did not find evidence to confirm the claims. The company said it had conducted a thorough 2-day internal investigation and concluded the assertions were unsubstantiated. I'm sorry, I don't think 2 days really is very thorough. All right, just between you and me, a 2-day investigation doesn't seem like that. I don't think that's winning any awards for thoroughness right there. But Reach this week, both declined further comment. A lawyer who represents the former DOGE member told the Post he denied all wrongdoing. The complaint alleges that after leaving government employment, the former DOGE member told colleagues he had a thumb drive with social security data and had kept his agency computer and credentials, which he allegedly said carried largely unrestricted God-level security access to the agency's systems, a level of access no other company employee had been granted in its work with SSA. An SSA official familiar with the former DOGE member's current status said the engineer had lost his data credential privileges and turned in his SSA laptop when he departed the agency. The whistleblower disclosure filed with the Inspector General's office on January 9th and amended on the 26th alleges the former DOGE member told the whistleblower that he was permitted to have unfettered access to American Social Security data. Democrats who were informed by GAO and the Inspector General's office about the existence of the complaint raised concerns that the allegations could confirm their fears that DOGE acted without regard for data privacy. Okay? Not only has an ex-DOGE bro been accused of running around with the Social Security information of every American on a flash drive, he may also have the ability to edit and manipulate data at the SSA at will, Robert Garcia said. This is dangerous and outrageous. The Oversight Committee Dems will fight for transparency and accountability. The allegations stoke concerns about whether sensitive data on U.S. citizens may have been inappropriately accessed and shared during the tumultuous period when DOGE gained power within the government early last year. At the time, Trump empowered billionaire businessman Elon Musk to run a signature White House cost-cutting initiative that would drill into agency information to search for waste, fraud, and programs that went against the administration's priorities. Now, guys, we should note that DOGE, after all of their talk, after all of their chaos, after all of their grandstanding, locking the doors to these agencies, making a huge deal, waste, fraud, and abuse. We heard waste, fraud, and abuse, waste, fraud, and abuse, waste, fraud, and abuse 1,000 times. They accomplished nothing, okay? They cut no meaningful amount of money. They saved no meaningful amount of waste, fraud, or abuse. They didn't save anything. And in fact, anything they did save, the tiny amount, got blown out of the water by Hegseth buying lobster and shit in September of 2025. Okay? They did not save any money. They found no fraud, nothing. Okay? They didn't find anything. If they had found fraud, they could have gotten indictments. They didn't get shit. Okay? All they did was every program that helped transgender people worldwide. There were a number of programs. USAID had programs that help transgender people in countries, help LGBTQ people in countries where they had no rights. Okay, there were many small programs in South America, in the Middle East, in Asian countries where they helped LGBTQ and right people. And there were other that helped impoverish people in Sri Lanka and shit. They decimated those programs. Okay. Elon was on a personal mission because of his trans daughter to go in there and take everything that helped transgender people worldwide and to just decimate it and make it go away just to hurt them. Okay. That is the only thing they really accomplished, was decimating those programs. But guys, that's a tiny amount of money. We sent more money to Argentina to rescue Scott Besson's buddy. We sent more money to Argentina than we spent on USAID. Okay, right? Easy. And now on the war, it's insane. Okay, we're just burning through cash. And then they jacked up the military budget. So they accomplished nothing. It was a data grab. They definitely grabbed a whole bunch of data. I don't know what they're doing with that data. I don't know how that data is being used or manipulated, or if they're eventually going to use AI tools to cross-reference it to try and determine if they have the data of certain voters. I mean, because kind of what I envision, guys, you ready? Here's what I envision when I saw DOGE taking the data was, let me run this by you. Because with Trump, how Trump has targeted attacks on blue states, right? He sends in 3,000 agents to Minneapolis, the blue state, the blue city, Tim Walz, right? He tried to federalize the National Guard in Portland and in LA and Chicago. He lost in court and didn't get that. But he really fucked up Minneapolis, okay? And he's been specifically targeting his enemies in blue states. So what I envisioned, guys, with the data grab was that Trump, ultimately, if he got his way, he would download and figure out all of the people that were Democrats or who voted against him, and he would do shit to them, like audit all of the Democrat taxpayers, or not pay out Social Security to Democrats, not pay out government benefits to Democrats, right? I mean, you tell me you couldn't see that, okay? I could absolutely see him trying to run the government Social Security data and the IRS data against voting records, which they want to get with the SAVE Act, so then they can target all of the Democratic people, deny them government benefits, take away their Social Security, audit them on taxes, and just in general punish them and try to harm them, right? Try to like find a way to criminalize them. I mean, can't you see that happening? Like, I could absolutely see him doing that. That they would love that. They would love that kind of shit. Right? So that's what I thought DOGE was really doing. Was they were, you know, because if you look at DOGE collecting data and then they're trying to pass the SAVE Act, which would require states to share their unredacted voter data, then eventually they would be able to cross-reference those things. You know? You know what I mean? But, so SSA spokesman Barton Mackey said in a statement before the IG launched its investigation that the allegation by a singular anonymous source has been found to be false based on evidence and investigations by all involved. When asked about the whistleblower complaint, Leland Dudek, former acting commissioner of the agency during the beginning of DOGE's work, said he was unaware of the details of the allegations, but said such actions would not comply with rules at the agency regarding government data sharing. Sharing Numident data with unauthorized third parties, whether via the cloud or a personal thumb drive, violates the law. A separate complaint made in August by the agency's former chief data officer, Charles Borges, alleges members of DOGE improperly uploaded copies of American Social Security data to a digital cloud, putting individuals' private information at risk. In January, Trump admin acknowledged DOGE staffers were responsible for separate data breaches at the agency, including sharing data through the unapproved third-party service that one of the DOGE staffers signed an agreement to share data with an unnamed political group aiming to overturn election results in several states. Jesus, guys. You see that? So Trump acknowledged that staffers were doing data breaches, including sharing, right, like a bunch of data to a political group that was trying to overturn elections. Like, how is this shit not illegal? How are these people not in prison? You know what I'm saying? Like, give me a break. Dad. It's brutal. Brutal, guys. All right. When Musk created the DOGE cost-cutting project, he made swift changes to agencies by accessing their tech systems, according to 4 people familiar with this strategy, 3 of whom spoke on condition of anonymity. Soon, DOGE engineers were deployed across the federal government, retrieving heavily restricted government databases, merging long siloed repositories to hunt down possible evidence of fraud or diversity initiatives. Again, they found no fraud. None. Zilch. A dozen DOGE workers were embedded at Social Security headquarters starting in February of 2025. After the Trump admin installed Dudek as acting commissioner, most of the team were tech experts and engineers. Team members never appeared on SSA's organizational chart, leading to confusion about their presence and roles within an agency known for safeguarding Americans' financial data. So they were like, that's another thing too. They were all like operating under the sly, so they couldn't be policed in any way. Okay, like zero oversight, these guys, none of them. Okay, their team was tasked with finding fraud in the Social Security rolls, especially seeking evidence of benefits going to dead people. Social Security technologists frequently push back against these presumptions of widespread fraud. The DOGE staff continued in their quest. The DOGE boys had preordained answers and weren't interested in anything other than defending decisions they'd already made. Dude, Fontucky, let's go! Thank you, boss. Thank you for the membership. Borges told Congress and reporters in August that DOGE members had access to data that had been blocked by a judge's order, that the DOGE team used unsanctioned methods to put the data in the cloud. Borges' attorney said in the complaint that DOGE members received uninhibited access to sensitive data, potentially violated internal security protocols and federal privacy laws. Borges' disclosure cited a June 2025 email thread in which SSA officials discussed allowing the DOGE member to copy and access one of the sensitive databases, Numident. One of the officials requested a sign-off by the agency's DOGE-aligned top IT official before it would hand over any data because it was unusual. It was an unusual request. The IT official granted the request. Okay, so they're just copying and taking entire sensitive databases. That's insane. Okay, Social Security initially denied Borges' allegations, said the data referenced in his complaint is stored in a secure environment walled off from the internet. But in January, the Justice Department acknowledged in court documents DOGE members had access and shared sensitive Social Security data without the awareness of agency officials. Dude, Fontucky, let's go, baby. Let's go. Thank you. Dude, Borges' attorneys were told this year the Office of Special Counsel would stop reviewing his allegations while GAO conducts a government-wide review of DOGE's access to sensitive data. However, GAO audit does not provide protections to whistleblowers, raising concerns from legal experts that it will be difficult for people with sensitive information to come forward. So if you come forward, you're risking life and limb, guys. Jessica Baxter, a GAO spokeswoman, confirmed in an email to the Post that GAO's review is ongoing. She did not provide a timeline for when a report would be issued. Borges said he feared the government will never be able to determine what happened to the data after it was no longer in the sole possession of the agency. This is absolutely the worst case scenario. There could be one or a million copies of it, and we will never know. So there you go. I mean, at the very least, guys, what we know is that they took everything, okay? Elon's goons took everything, and we have no idea what they did with it. Like none. We have no fucking clue, boss. I mean, it's pretty startling, you know, when you think about it. Like, I don't know, dude. I always worried about that targeted outcome, that ultimately what they really want is they want to be able to punish specific groups of people. And the way they would do that is by accessing our data and being right and identifying, you know what I'm saying? Identifying who like is a Democrat. And then punishing them accordingly, you know? Right? Yeah, brutal. And then I guess there is some people have, there are some depositions of these DOGE guys that I do want to look into, but I'm not going to look into tonight because, you know, we already have a significant amount of information here. But I think looking at those DOGE depositions would be interesting because a lot of these guys, okay, like, I guess the thing that's really problematic is a lot of these DOGE guys, they're not like seasoned professional, you know, engineers that have, you know, decades of experience protecting, like, you know, the sanctity of people's data and having long established ethical frameworks that they work in. Okay. Yeah. No, these were guys like big balls. They were all fucking 19, 20, 21. They were kind of hacker types. And many of them had previous problems with jobs. Like one kid in particular actually had been fired from a job for sharing sensitive data from his company with another company. Like they previously had issues of like having no fucking integrity, all of these guys. Now, you know, with Elon and Trump, being a crook is almost like a prerequisite because what they want more than anything are people who will break the law for them and fall on the sword for them. That's what they want. They literally do. That's the only thing that they value. Trump exclusively chooses people who will be willing to go to prison for him in exchange for some money later on down the road. That's how he picks his inner circle. You have to be willing to go to jail for him. And many people have. Michael Cohen, Mike Flynn, right? Fucking his accountant. I can't even remember the guy's name, dude. His accountant went to fucking prison. I mean, dude, right? Bannon. I mean, dude, who hasn't, right? I mean, and if you look at like even his lawyers, a lot of times his lawyers eventually they get disbarred for some reason. It's like the last stop on Trump train is prison. Dude, Nicole, welcome to the membership. Thank you, Nicole. We appreciate you, boss. All right, want to make sure we didn't miss anyone. So yeah, dude, Sidney Powell, dude, Jesus, dude, she's a lunatic. All right, can I just tell you? Holy shnikes. All right, I want to check and make sure. I think we got everything on the big board, dude. Oh yeah, no, last but not least, we are going to look at the TPUSA shit. Okay? That's where we're going to end. Nicole said, I grew up next to Jimmy Swaggart's Assembly of God complex. I knew people who worked there at the Assembly of God school. No way, Nicole. That's crazy. Dude, thank you, Nicole. Can I just show you? I'm going to show you something real quick, all right? Let me find it here. So there was an Assembly of God church in Watertown, Wisconsin, all right, that had a really big yard, okay? Let me show. Now it's called the River City Church, I guess, okay? But it was an Assembly of God church. I'm going to find some images of this. Let me show you. All right, you ready? So let me find a fucking good shot of this. Give me 1 second here. All right. Let me see. There's got to be a picture of this church. Oh, shit. Let's see if I can find it here. Oh, that's it. Oh, it's called New Life Church, Watertown Campus. Okay. So here it is. On. Ready? So I'm gonna fucking pull this out. So here's the church. All right. So this is the church, right? And there's a parking lot, but if you go here and you look at the church, there was this big field here. Okay, this is in Watertown, Wisconsin. So the church, this is like a main highway type road, and there's this big field. There used to not be trees back in the 80s when I lived here. And so I used to play football on this field, okay? And this was like one of my playthings because I lived on, this is Mary Street. I lived in a duplex right here. And my friend Scarlett lived in a house right across the street. And then my friend Julie lived blocks down. But this like patch of grass was like a massive like play area. I used to like kick my football all the time. I used to kick my football and fucking, right? And here, Here, let's go over here. I used to kick my football and play in this fucking patch of grass. And so the place I lived in, Mary Street, was, I believe it was this one. It was one of these two. Maybe it was, I think it was this one, actually. I can't remember, but I lived in one of these duplexes on the right side. I think it was this one, right? It was 1519 Mary Street, or 13 or 15. Yeah, so maybe, yeah, no, I think, God, I can't remember which one. It was one of those. I think it was this one, right? It's one of those two. But so I lived there it was in 4th grade and 5th grade. And then we moved across the highway to a rented house for half of 6th grade. And then we moved back to California. And so the thing is, you said you kick it against the roof of the church. I never kicked the football up there like on purpose, but I had one of those remote control, like gas powered aircraft things. And I did crash. Okay. I did crash a fucking remote controlled aircraft into, right? I did crash an aircraft into the fucking side of the church once and started like the tiniest little fire, a little remote control thing. But my friend Scarlett lived in this house, right? She was like a feisty redheaded woman. Now we're still friends on Facebook, of course, right? Because on Facebook, you're like friends with everybody. But isn't that wild? Dude, yeah, I think it was this one. Okay, I'm pretty sure it was this one that I lived in because I was like right across from Scarlett, right? I was like right across from her house. So it had to be this one that I was. Let me see if I have the photo. You ready? Hold on. You ready? Hold on. Let me see if I have this photo, dude. This is gonna be wild, guys. You're about to be in for a treat here. You ready? This is gonna be wild. I think I have the picture. Okay, I think I have. All right. I have some old photos. I thought I had a photo of it. I know I have a photo somewhere, but I don't think I have it digitized. But I have a photo of me sitting on the steps with a dog and like a kid that was like a neighbor kid or something. It's a pretty old photograph. I'm gonna see if I have a photo of the inside of that place. Right? I have some pretty crazy. My mom, you know what's interesting? Let me just tell you, before my mom passed away, right? Before my mom passed away, I had sent her a request of like all the photos she had of when I was a kid. So she dug through all of her photo albums and she sent me this big metal tin with like 1,000 pictures in it. So I actually have like a whole bunch of, you know, my childhood photos from around that time and various, you know, from me being a kid all the way up through high school. It's pretty crazy. Oh, I want to check one other thing here. Yeah, no, it's nice. Dude, let's go. Need to make a documentary about Jimmy Swaggart and saying someone needs to do that for years. Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't, actually. I'm surprised people haven't actually made a documentary about him, right? You know what I'm saying? I really am, because he was such a freak. All right, last thing I'm looking at, and then I'm moving on. You been to Madison? Dude, I wish I'm going to dig up that photo, but that is crazy, right? Let me see here. Where's Watertown? In Wisconsin, it's like halfway between Madison and Milwaukee. Right? It's basically Watertown is like if you have Milwaukee's over here and Madison's over here, and then there's a highway that connects them, and Watertown is like halfway between the two and just a few miles off of that highway, right? Like 6 miles or 8 miles north of that highway. So it's like south central Wisconsin, but yeah, no, I don't have it. I don't have the photo. I thought I had a digitized version of it, but I do have a photo of me and a dog sitting on the stoop there in this duplex, right? And then I have some photos of the inside of the duplex with my, like, I had a set of Collier's encyclopedias and a Titanic model and a model of the Apollo 5 rocket on top of this bookshelf that had the encyclopedias. And we had a basement. There was a basement there. One of my brothers had a bunch of like guitar amps and shit that he stored in the basement. And there was like, he had like a bunch of weights down there. I remember I started like lifting weights and I got like a thyroid infection from like trying to lift too many weights. Dude, it was pretty wild, but it was pretty cool. Like I had some good friends that lived in the neighborhood. All right, little trip down memory lane, baby. Dude, those encyclopedias, can I just tell you, while we're on a sidebar here, that my parents, we got them in California, I think it was in California. I think it was in 3rd grade. What ended up happening was some traveling salesman, okay? This happened a lot in the 70s and 80s, where door-to-door salesmen came through the neighborhood selling shit. And a door-to-door salesman came and sold my parents this set of Collier's Encyclopedia, 26 volumes, A through Z. And then it also, though, it came every year. It came with this book, like 500 pages, that was like a year in review, okay? And that year in review would talk about politics and natural disasters and social movements and everything that happened. And you got one every fucking year, right? Now, what was crazy about this was before, of course, long before the internet and shit. But like, guys, I religiously used those books. What I did because I love to read and I was always really curious. So everything that I heard, if I was watching TV and they talked about Alaska, I would go look up Alaska, read about Alaska. If I was watching the news and they mentioned Henry Kissinger, I would go grab my Collier's. I would read everything about Kissinger. I would get to the end and it would say, see also, I would go read those too. So, I mean, by the time I was in like 9th grade, I had read like every fucking square inch of those encyclopedias. I was just so curious. And so when my parents would have guests over and they'd be talking, I would pull out my encyclopedias and I would just read everything about what they were talking. And for whatever reason, I was like blessed with a crazy fucking memory. Like my memory is like a fucking steel trap. So I became a walking storehouse of information, man. And then I fucking got straight A's in school, like unbelievably. Like, dude, I didn't get a non-A grade until I was a senior in high school, okay? I was a fucking straight A student. And by the time I got to junior high, I did half my classes at junior high. I ate lunch and then I rode my bike to high school and I finished my day taking high school classes. And it was almost exclusively because of those fucking encyclopedias, man. They like, I can't even tell you how much knowledge I gleaned from those. They were amazing. And the year in review was really cool too, because you got to sort of look at the whole world, like what happened that year. Like they were so good, dude. They were so good. Like unbelievable, man. You know, God, it was amazing. I felt really like lucky to have that. You know, I did. I felt really lucky to have that because not everybody had them. You know, not everybody had a set of encyclopedias, and we were kind of like piss poor too. But my parents, though, that was the one investment they made that turned out to be super valuable, right? Because they didn't make like a lot of investments, but they didn't buy me my first computer. Okay, I had to get a paper route to get my first computer, right? That was in 8th grade, right? I had to go deliver newspapers after school, and at fucking 5 a.m. every Sunday, I had to take my bike down and fucking deliver like the Sunday fucking Watertown Times, Watertown Daily News, right? To get a computer because my parents wouldn't buy me a computer, but they did get me the set of encyclopedias. You had World Book. Yeah, World Book were really great. And Encyclopedia Britannicas were also good too, right? Those were good. But we had the Colliers. They were red and black, right? They were cool. They were black with little red bars, little red fucking things on them. Dude, so good. All right, you ready? We're finishing up, guys, with fucking TPUSA. All right, this shit is ghoulish, guys. When you see what these guys were doing, like, look at this shit, okay? You ready? We're going to show you this. So yesterday was the 6-month anniversary of Charlie Kirk being shot, okay? Now, dude, I mean, does it feel like it's been years since he died or what? I can't believe it's only 6 months, okay? It seems like it's been so fucking long. But so anyway, they had a special whatever Charlie Kirk-a-thon. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I think this is so ghoulish, okay? This, like the fact that they're still doing the Charlie Kirk show and they're still like have charliekirk.com. They're using email addresses and they're still sitting next to his empty chair. Like, this is so fucking garish. It is so ghoulish. I mean, they're doing it because they want to cha-ching the fucking cash register. But like, dude, they're just trying to milk this shit. And I think they're ruining it. Okay? I think they're ruining it. I do. I think they're absolutely like just damaging their credibility by this shit. They're still tweeting from his goddamn account, guys. Okay, but watch this shit. Okay, this is truly fucking bizarre what went on here today with this shit. Hold on. All right, you ready? Here we go. All right, get ready, guys. This is, you're not even going to believe how morbid this is.
It's the 6-month mark of losing Charlie. And the team has a tribute video in honor of the great Charlie Kirk, our friend. We wanted to play it for you. Play cut 10.
This is why your faith is the most important thing.
You are commanded to go do something productive with your life. You are not commanded to go sit idly by and just receive. You are commanded to go give and to produce and to risk, to then go sow into other people. That is a biblical idea that has made the world a profoundly better place.
We must put God first in everything that
Dude, by the way, just to take issue with what he said, how, oh, that's a biblical thing that has made the world a profoundly better place. No, you know what has happened because of that biblical thing? 25 million people have died because of that biblical urge to go around the world and like cramming religion down people's throats. 25 million people have perished because of that like imperialist desire to cram and force religion, the Christian religion, into people by explorers. Like, really, it is impossible to overstate the ancillary harm that has come from that behavior. Okay?
we do. We are nothing here but just for a short instant, short little glimpse. We act not out of outcome, but we act out of obedience.
Everybody, this was not earned. You guys were a vessel. We were a vessel. Psalm 107:1. Oh, give thanks to the Lord, for he is good, for his steadfast love endures forever.
I have to say this without getting emotional, but I'm very proud of my husband. You are so intentional with your faith, and you are so intentional with just how you are as a father and a husband.
Becoming a father has made
You, all right. I don't want to watch the whole thing. All right.
We miss you, Charlie.
So they do a tribute. All right. They do a tribute. I don't want to watch the whole fucking Charlie Kirk tribute. All right. Bloody blah. But anyway, whatever. You ready? Here we go. Watch this though.
For courage for my faith. That would be the most important thing. Most important thing is my faith in my life.
I think the most important thing was money, actually, but.
We miss you, Charlie. 6 months. Doesn't feel real. Still.
6 months, almost exactly.
Yeah. Dude, it's like, it's so awkward, right? Oh, we miss you, Charlie. We're sitting next to your empty chair, Charlie. We're tweeting from your Twitter account, Charlie. We're like hitting the cash register with your old gloves, Charlie. Right? We're putting your face on posters and using it to bilk money out of people who are afraid if they don't give, they're going to burn in hell, Charlie. All right, but now watch this.
Yeah. Lost him on September 10th, and it is March 10th. So,
okay.
Here's to you, Charlie.
Good man.
We had to play it. This is his show. It will always be his show. So, Blake, any thoughts?
You know, it's... Erica said that if Charlie was given the choice to undo what happened and come back, he wouldn't, she thought, because of what was unleashed by it. I've gone a couple times in the last week or so where we have...
Did you hear that? Did you hear what he just said? I know we got lost in there because it was so awkwardly uncomfortable, but this fucking guy, he's like, Andrew Kolvik gets all awkward and says, Blake Neff, you got something to say? Like, it's super awkward here. Blake Neff said that Erica Kirk told him that if Charlie had to do it all over again, and if he could not get assassinated, right, if he could not get murdered, he would choose to get murdered again because of what it has done for the movement. So that's what he's claiming Erica told him, that Charlie would get shot again rather than still be alive and hang out with his daughters because it was so good for the movement. Now, either A, this bald weirdo is lying and is just saying totally insane shit, or Erica Kirk is a fucking, like a demon out there, right? Walking around like trying to say, oh yeah, her husband would like give it all up. He is just the martyr among martyrs because the movement is so good now. But like, dude, I don't think TPUSA, it's not really going that good. I mean, they have banked a bunch of money, but they are disorganized. Right? I mean, the last speech she did was at the Harvest Church, which has like a host of lawsuits against it for like child abuse in Romania. You know what I mean? I mean, dude, even their own like former TPUSA fans are like mad that like it's now like the Netanyahu show. Okay? Erica Kirk is like everybody on the planet is sort of dragging her because of her weird behavior, her emotional like bizarreness, and the fact that now we're starting to look at her and realize that even the story of her life doesn't add up, that she's been lying about so much of her life. But yeah, let's go back and watch this again, dude. Just such an awkward moment. The laugh this guy has where he's like, oh, Blake, save me. I mean, it's so awkward that we're sitting here by this empty chair still milking this thing, Like, oh, shit.
So, Blake, any thoughts?
Oh, Blake.
It's... Erica said that if Charlie was given the choice to undo what happened and come back, he wouldn't, she thought, because of what was unleashed by it. I've gone a couple times in the last week or so.
So
where we have
ghoulish.
One of the buildings here on the campus is just all of the mail, packages, gifts we've received or that people have left outside the campus, which we still encourage people to come. We still see people there. So if you're passing through Phoenix, stop by. We'd love to see people make a visit. But I look at that and, we still get the emails as well. People talking about they started going to church because of Charlie. They kept going to church because of Charlie. Some of them, we even get ones where they say, I'm not really sure if I believe God exists, but I'm still going because Charlie said to. And, we want to encourage that. Leave your heart open. And
dude, they get messages from people who say, I'm not even sure if God exists, but I still go to church because Charlie told me to. Dude, can we go back though? You ready? What the fuck is with this background, dude? Like, why is there just this weird photo of Clarence Thomas back there? Right? Clarence Thomas, the sex abuser, Clarence Thomas, the guy who's like has all kinds of ethical violations, taking gifts from Harlan Crow. You know what I mean? Like, what world do we live in with these people? They're so weird, guys. They are so bizarre.
Exists, but I'm still going because Charlie said to, and we want to encourage that. Leave your heart open. And we've seen so many cases of that. And I think Charlie would even say, like, if it would help one other person come to Christ, my martyrdom, it would be
Charlie!
worth it. And we've seen it's not one person, it's hundreds, thousands, maybe
Tens
around
of
the world,
thousands.
hundreds,
Who knows?
Millions.
It truly did have a...
Dude, Charlie, it's not just hundreds who are going to church, it's tens of hundreds of thousands of millions. Millions are going to church because of Charlie.
global impact. And it's also true that because of what happened to him, we never have to see Charlie lose his fastball. We never have to see Charlie get old, become tired. He's always as he was. I would have.
Look at that, guys. They're like, oh my God. They're implying that it's like a good thing what happened because that way they're never going to see Charlie like lose his vigor. Like, bro, how bizarre is that? What are these people saying, dude? Who are these people? Like, dude, you know what I'm saying? Like, all I can say is I wasn't even a Charlie Kirk fan. And that day was like heavily traumatic. Watching somebody die like that in public was like, if I could go without seeing that, if I could rewind the clock and not have to watch, 18 hours of that on social media, I feel like I would be better off for it, man. But they're trying to like Jesus this guy.
I'd love to see
He's that brave young hero going out onto the campuses, speaking to young people, reaching young people, and we'll always have that example.
Dude, what a bunch of weirdos, bro. Is that not some of the weirdest shit you've seen, dude? You know what I'm saying? That is some crazy ass shit. Okay? Right? And this is what he did. He claimed that 𝗙𝗏𝗏 Kirk said Charlie wouldn't want to undo the killing to raise his kids, etc., because, right? Because he says 𝗙𝗏𝗏 said the movement is so beautiful. The movement is so amazing now after Charlie that Charlie wouldn't do it. Now, you know, I'm calling bullshit on that. Okay? I think Charlie would absolutely want to still be alive. There's no way he would want to take a bullet in the neck in front of a bunch of people just for the movement. Like, give me a fucking break, dude. Okay? Because one thing you know about Charlie, if you actually followed him and watched him, is he was arrogant as shit, guys. Okay? He was arrogant as shit. He was like, his faith was a kind of a mirage, dude. He was kind of like a religious person living like a rock star. Okay? He was. I mean, most faith-based people are just like out there piously pursuing their faith. He was like the center of attention. He was the debater with the hats, and they're cheering for him. He was going into the fraternity houses and like getting all the dudes pumped up, and like, you know, being like the dude who was like arguing with all the girls and putting the college girls in their place while like the young boys were cheering for him. Like he was very, you know, like church rock star guy. Okay. And loving that, loving the applause, like very, very, you know, full of himself, like extraordinarily full of himself, as you could see when he was like at Amfest and shit, you know, like punking on Cenk Uygur, or, you know, there were only a few instances where I saw him get sort of humbled. I mean, he got humbled a lot in debating by young people, like women who would burn him up, and he would pull the whole, like, you know, you're calm down, why are you so emotional card. But the one time that I saw him get a little discombobulated, believe it or not, was in that Gavin Newsom thing, right? When Gavin Newsom went in there and was like, oh, my son is a fan of yours, and Gavin Newsom was like buttering his bread and sort of doing a little bit of the like kissy ass, like, wow, you've done such a great job, like in Arizona and helping Trump. How'd you do it? And he was all like glowing. He became like, oh, let me tell you, Gavi, right? And then he went on his show afterwards and he was apologizing to his viewers because his viewers were all mad. Like, why didn't you shit on Gavin Newsom? And he's like, oh, he kind of disarmed me by being nice, right? You know what I mean? And like, so there were a couple instances like that where he backed down from, like, because he would always talk about being really aggressive. And then, you know, when he got in the room with Gavin Newsom, he was not aggressive at all. In fact, he was kind of like, you know, like sort of buttering his bread. And that was really interesting. I'm trying to think of other moments like that, you know, because with Cenk Uygur, he pretty much shit on Cenk Uygur, right? He mostly though, I remember fucking Cambridge. Okay. Remember Cambridge? Like, remember Cambridge? When those students in Cambridge just fucking destroyed like Charlie. Remember? Oh my God, dude. Yeah. They destroyed him. Okay. They did. They fucking destroyed him in Cambridge. Everybody who went up there just absolutely zapped him. Cenk is so easy to set off. Yeah. The thing about Cenk is Cenk was like kissing Charlie's ass, and Charlie was like making fun of him. You know what I mean? And like, dude, I was disappointed in that, you know, like that, like, you know, because if you go and somebody's making fun of you, you should like let them have it. You know what I'm saying? There's no way you should go somewhere and let somebody just punk you in front of their crowd and you just sit there and are like, oh, okay, here, let me punk me again, please. Right? Dude, because Cenk Uygur, though, is like, he's a fucking, he is such a suck up, dude. He is. Dude, he is such an ass kisser. Cenk Uygur, like, I have not seen a bigger ass kisser in my entire fucking life, dude. Right? He only gets combative when he's arguing against women, right, Cenk? Like, if he argues, if he's talking to a woman, he'll get all combative. But you notice Cenk Uygur won't even sit in a room with Sam Seder, right? He only, like, attacks Emma, right? Or he'll attack Franny. But he won't even talk to a guy leftist. He won't, because he's a fucking, because he's a clown, dude, right? All he does is go and talk to the women, and then he talks over them and tries to be the tough guy, right? Dude, because he's a fucking candy ass, dude. He is. Dude, Cenk Uygur is a candy ass, bro. Oh, dude, I will love to one day, I want to get on like a Piers Morgan or something with Cenk or Benny Johnson. Like, I would love to get on a program with those two assholes. Dude, right? Or Michael Knowles. Oh my God, please. Just one day, please get me on a program with those people. Just please. That's all I ask, dude. One day, right? Oh, fuck. All right. It's time, though. It is go time. I got to go make some videos. All right? Dude, Michael Knowles, what a degen. Don't give Benny your time. Dude, you got to fucking roast those guys. Dude, I would love to talk to Benny about his Milo's accusations, right? Be Benny. Come on, buddy. Let's go, dude. Dude, I would love to call his dumb ass out. All right, you ready? Let's go. Dude, it would be good ratings. Dude, Piers, if you see this, get me on there. Believe me. Trust me. You put me on there with Benny Johnson, and it will be ratings. You want ratings? I'll give you fucking ratings, bro. I will give you so many ratings, you won't know what to do with that shit. Come on, Piers. Come on, you wanker. Oh, let's go. Oh, time to stretch. Dude, somebody said Benny Johnson uses egg whites in his hair, dude. Dude, what I'm wondering is who's got the bigger Chippendales tab? Benny Johnson or Lindsey Graham, right? That's the real question, right? Right? Who has more Liza Minnelli CDs? Dude, Benny Johnson or Lindsey? Lindsey! Let's go. Oh, shit. Dude, we're about to get the little deja vu on. Dude, you're dead? Yeah, let's go. Well, I need answers, guys. I must have answers. I need answers to these incredibly pertinent questions. All right, that's what I need. I must have answers. All right. All right, it's dance party, baby. Let's go. Let's go, let's go. You can dance if you want to. Night is young and so am I. Ask you don't dance, and if you don't dance, well, you're no friend of mine. Dude, I remember that, dude. You ready? Oh, all right. Let's get it going. Thank you guys for a great stream. Thank you for a great amount of support. Right? Thank you for listening to my crazy, boring stories about your life, etc., etc. Right? Yeah, dude, safety dance. They had that little person in it. It's a good video. All right, you ready? Let's get it. Get it. Oh! Dude, I feel like that may have been like the best dance I've ever done to that song. Whew. Holy shit, bro. I was rocking that one. Let's go. Dude, wait, I want to hear this guitar solo, dude. Ready? Here we go. I do. I grew, and I knew if I do, and I do anything that you would have said. I know you chose to be red when you could be them. Let's go guitar solo, come on, baby, yeah! Fucking see you tomorrow. Thank you again for accompanying me on this crazy journey. We got a couple years left of this debacle. Let's keep working. We gotta win the House in November. It's our #1 priority, guys. We gotta win the fucking House or shit's gonna fucking fall apart. All right, I will see you guys tomorrow. Big love. All right, be good to yourselves. Thank you guys. Good night.
Do you need anything like I need you? It's over.